You're live. Okay, you might be live. I didn't get all dressed up for this video. I don't know what I'm supposed to do and everything. This was, well, not entirely an impulse buy. For those of you who hadn't seen the previous videos, I had done videos before about the Epiphone Dot and the Ibanez arch top, whichever model that one was, with the two pickups instead of the one like the Eastman arch top. I had seen, mostly since I saw the Eastman guitars, or maybe a couple before, mostly this one Brit guy who's really hyping them. He's getting slightly different models than I am, I think. And he's really invested in it. And I think one of them was kind of a clickbait title. You know, is Eastman giving Gibson a run for their money? I doubt it. They are lower priced guitars, but I don't know if I would call them budget guitars. I don't have as much of the information as I would like on each particular model to be able to say, well, these pickups are more comparable to these pickups or less comparable to these. So I don't know that it's exactly trying to be on par with the Gibsons as much as be a higher level than Ibanez or the Epiphone Sheraton instead of the Dot, which, you know, the Sheraton, when I first was looking at them, I thought they were mostly more bling, but apparently they might be, you know, pretty good pickups. I don't know if the pickups are better than the Ibanez pickups, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, I think I said in one of the videos, you know, how I went kind of guitar shopping to see what was comparable to this that was lying around, and they tried to sell me the same Dot that I already had and the same Ibanez, not the exact same Ibanez, but the same model Ibanez that I already had. And so it was kind of like, well, no, I thought your job as like a guitar guy salesman was to upsell me, not just to get my money, but to explain to me why one guitar is better than the other guitar or whatever. And they didn't have any interest in doing that whatsoever, which baffled the crap out of me. But I think it was largely because they didn't have quite what I was looking for probably in stock. So they weren't going to try to sell me that. They were just going to try and sell me a lower price thing that they knew I'd be relatively happy with because I already had both of them for 10 or 15 years or something. Yeah, of course I knew I'd be happy with them, but I also sold them for a while ago, expecting something better to come along, or not necessarily on the market for that particular model in the first place for, as I explained, reasons. Like I wasn't really playing a lot of jazz. I was trying to play more rock. You don't really play a jazz guitar when you're playing rock. It doesn't really work very well. Whereas this guitar can handle jazz or rock, as you should know or might know or expect, and blues, of course, being somewhere in between the two. So when I was browsing, it was just kind of, yeah, a little bit, like I said, a tiny bit impulse buy, but a tiny bit like I had an empty case. Turns out this one came with a case, so my case from my old one is still empty. But it did have, you know, some of the features that I like the little inlays on the neck, and it's still, I don't know, and it still is the two pickups in the semi-hollow, and the flame job, of course, was the main selling thing because there was a less expensive one with a basically similar finish to the Dot one, but we'll assume better than the Dot. I'll try and show this off without too much reflections and junk. I don't know about this thing. I don't know how much this gets in the way. I'm not sure how many people just remove the pick guards. Like I said, I don't know what the caliber or the brand or whatever of the pickups is. I think it has more of an ebony fretboard than a standard rosewood. It's got the binding, which is similar to some Fenders I've seen where they were trying to kind of copy that for no apparent reason on Telecasters and things. The one metal thing fell out of the black tone knob. Well, yeah, that'd be the second tone knob. I still have it. It's in the case. I don't know if the glue just got old, you know, because this was not a new guitar. This was listed as a used. But I don't know. I kind of like it better, the black instead of the silver. I know the silver is meant to go with the pickups and the hardware there, but I think black just looks better because I don't need my knobs to be chromy shiny in the back. Being, of course, like I said, it's kind of hard to show everything with this setup here. And in the exhaust port, this is not the same amplifier I would typically like to use, but I will try and do a sound sample. Then, of course, you've got the plastic pegs, you know, but your standard. Some kind of hardware deal. The neck is rounded, which I am not sure if I'm remembering incorrectly how flat the Epiphone was, and possibly, I know the Ibanez, the scale length was shorter with the hollow body, and so that's a little bit of an adjustment if you like that shorter scale. But I was pretty used to the neck on the Dot. This one feels similar but not the same. The fret ends aren't terrible. I don't know how long, you know, it was sitting around or who had it first or how long they played it. There's a little bit of scuffing back here, but I don't know if that'll show up on camera. It just, yeah, everything just kind of, it's the wrong time of day to try and film because the sun is now affecting that too, slightly. But, you know, but like I said, I saw it and it was like, okay, well, it's pretty like the one version of the, I don't remember if they had flame on the Sheraton. I remember there was a black one and another one. I remember on the Dot there was a yellow one and a red one. And I think there was like an upgrade that was the yellow flame was the Sheraton. Memory serves. But so then you got your fiddle. I'm pointing it wrong. You got your fiddle holes here, the F holes, right? And then you've got your three-way switch, your two volumes, your two tones. I had never really used the other tone on the Dot because it was kind of like I was usually playing up instead of down in that position anyway. So the secondary volume knob I never really had to deal with all that much. I don't know what kind of woods it is. I don't have any idea of all that kind of stuff. But it looks nice. The one thing I know is that they're made in China, and if I can read that, I think it's Beijing. I can't read, it's tiny, but it's in there. But, you know, like I said in the other video, kind of proof that, yes, the Chinese can make a pretty guitar and a functional one at that, you know, and for the price, everybody was telling me, oh, no, you got a good guitar at a good price. So I just had to trust them because, like I said, they didn't seem to have anything comparable in stock that wasn't either lower level or way higher level, because the 335s, well, I don't know, maybe I could find a used one for less, but they're starting at around 3,500, I think. So let me, oops, I don't know that it's in tune. I doubt it. I don't want all that distortion. Feel like reverb. Okay, so what's that? That's in the middle. Let's go to the top. Twiddling the knob. Okay, so it got a lot quieter, so I can adjust that. And at the bottom. Oops. There are numbers on these things, but since there's no lines to go with the numbers, I don't know exactly. I mean, I can turn that one all the way up, and that one, oh, that one's pretty close to all the way up already. Okay. I don't want to. If I make it too loud, it just overdrives the speaker. So I have no idea if any of that sounded like anything. So already it's like rock, 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 even when I'm not trying to beat rock, rock, rock. But can I adjust? I can turn the gain back down. I had that pretty high for the other video. And my guitar playing is two things. One, I don't really know what to play because I just decided to do this video. And two, I don't want to do anything that sounds like anything that's copyrighted because I have no idea what the rules are. So without any effects or anything. So top, middle. Sound kind of the same because I got the dials all turned up. Okay. Bottom. Can make that less sharp. And we can really hear the reverb. And I don't know how to turn off the distortion or the reverb on this particular thing. I can turn down the bass. The bass is only at like 3. Okay, so the bass is way lower. There is no mid. There's only a bass and a treble. You turn the bass up a little bit then. Okay. I'm totally not used to this amplifier. It's just a little practice amp. It has all these presets and I don't know how to use any of them, so it's perfect for this kind of a demo right now. Is that too jangly? Go up to something like that. Anyway, so yeah, not a terribly long review, but it's, you know, got the doohickey and the thing bob and the dealy Joe and the thing, and I almost never put a strap on them anymore. And if I do, it usually just gets unused because I always sit when I play. Although some say you should put the strap on anyway, just, you know, prevent accidents. The difference, you can't see this. Okay, I'm trying to. It balances. Like I can sit here with my hands not on it and it's not falling to the ground, not like an SG where it's nosedivey or a Les Paul where it won't stay on your leg no matter what you're trying to do. Maybe not quite as balanced as the Jazzmaster, but I think more recognized as potentially a better jazz alternative than a Jazzmaster style of guitar. The history guy did the whole video recently about you know, how this actually came after some of those other models. You'd think this was the predecessor, but this was actually not. This was actually like the early 60s or whatever this finally came out. But yeah. I can make it sound like a surf guitar, right? It also sounds like some bands you might recognize. even though they didn't use this style of the guitar, maybe. Yeah. Like I said, not trying to skirt around those copyright things. So if you can get the vibe, get the feel, get the whatever. Yeah, it's got a nice smooth thing going on the neck. Like I said, I kind of wish it was a little bit flatter, maybe. Or it seems like that's what I'm remembering, but then when you're actually playing it, like you're not really thinking about that as much, right? When I got my hands on the Les Pauls, I don't know if I'm remembering those incorrectly either, because I'm inclined to think that they might have rounder necks than I'm remembering. It had been quite a long time since I never really played a lot of Les Pauls, so it's kind of few and far between when I get a hold of one and go, oh yeah, this is great, this is beautiful, but then they're so heavy and everything. I just don't know how often you're going to grab it. And then I was watching the other guy's video, and he was talking about the 335 having that kind of warmer tone, kind of the more of the low ends and things. The Les Paul punches more in the mid range. This isn't a Gibson, so I don't know if it matches up exactly with the 335, because again, I don't have a 335 here because they cost way more than this did. So we may never know. What am I missing? Don't know. But yeah, overall, it seems like it's a decent machine for multiple genre use or whatever. Which of course I already kind of knew that, because I already had two different versions of a hollow body before, but just less expensive versions. And so yeah, the hardware and everything though looks pretty much, like I said, pretty much the same as a Gibson without being the same thing. So yada yada yada. Okay. Yeah. If there's any questions, you can feel free to leave them in the comments, and try and get back in a timely and coherent manner.